Hey, what's going on, everyone? This video we are looking at the Tuesday night football picks between the Dallas Cowboys and the Baltimore Ravens. This one's in Baltimore tonight. Gonna be a fun one, so let's get right into it. As always, appreciate you guys hit the like button down below, subscribe if you have not already, and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I post. And let's get started. So, if you want to join the team, you can visit the website dfsprocess.net. Football video coming all throughout the week, and then we have basketball starting Friday with preseason. Now we'll have a video out for that too. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at the DFS Process, and we'll have some probably announcements with some partnerships coming up, so stay tuned for that too. Pretty excited about those that are upcoming. So let's get started, as always, with the format of the showdown videos. Starting off as the most expensive captain is Lamar Jackson, who's having a pretty disappointing season, but this is the best spot that he's had all year against this really, really atrocious Cowboys defense. There are going to be holes for him to just take off and run. So he's only gotten 100 yards on the ground once this year. That was against the Eagles, who are a pretty good rush defense. So that was pretty impressive. But the Cowboys dead last against the rush. They are giving up the most points in football. The Ravens still put up some points at home tonight. I think Lamar Jackson, after having a pretty down year, it's just a good spot for him to get back on track. He's faced a couple of tough defenses recently against Pittsburgh, the Colts. The Patriots been playing pretty well. I mean, they shut out Justin Herbert last on Sunday, and the Titans haven't been great. But all in all, he's had a couple of easy matchups, a couple of difficult matchups. This is just the best one by far that he's had this year. So it's really impossible for me not to recommend Lamar Jackson. I will be playing him probably in the captain spot. One guy I can feel fine with not having that much interest in is like Ezekiel Elliott. If I had to pick between some of the studs tonight, it's Elliott's the one guy that I can kind of cross off. Like, he has just been super disappointing. He's gotten under 10 DraftKings points in 4 out of 5, and those were, against teams that they knew they were going to run the football, but they just couldn't run the football. Without Prescott, teams have just been loading the box against Elliott, and he just hasn't been able to get anything going this year. Really disappointing. The fumbling continues to be a huge issue. So he's just a mess right now. I don't think I really need to go crazy with him. If you play a bunch of lineups, obviously you're going to want to have some interest in him, but I would definitely come in lower owned than what he's expected to be, because I'd rather go to Andy Dalton in a game where I think they're going to be trailing and going to have to throw the football a lot. Now, Dalton has a higher floor than Elliott, probably even has a higher ceiling at this point. Dalton is just a mediocre quarterback, nothing special. He does have some like familiarity with this Ravens defense because he was with the Bengals for years and years in that same division. But I think just a game that they're probably going to have to throw the football a lot. You can kind of count on Dalton with the good receivers that he does have in CeeDee Lamb and Cooper, Gallup to be able to move the football a bit and score some points. So I like Dalton. I like Lamar Jackson. I will have interest in both quarterbacks. I like Cooper quite a bit at 14-4 in the captain spot. In the flex, he checks in at just 9,600. So I think I might even play Cooper over Elliott. But I do really like the price tag on CeeDee Lamb. It was only 6,600. He's been, kind of the 1B to Cooper's 1A. Dalton and Cooper have better chemistry, but Lamb is still getting a handful of targets, 6-7 targets a game. He can break off big plays. He, is had that huge catch, the monster on like one of the best catches of the year against the Vikings. So he's a big time playmaker, really cheap price point. I think you're going to have some interest in. You should have some interest in CeeDee Lamb. Don't know if Willie Snead will get activated before tonight. I don't know if he will, because they kind of activated the guys that will play tonight. In Dobbins, they activated him. They activated Mark Ingram. They didn't activate Mark Andrews, and they didn't activate Willie Snead. So don't expect those two to play, especially Andrews. I don't know about Snead yet, but they already said Andrews unlikely to play. I like Marquis Brown tonight against the Cowboys. It's a spot where the big plays are going to be there against this defense. They're going to have to utilize him. Kind of got it. Hopefully got some things going last week. Some of his confidence back with that touchdown. It was kind of mainly his doing. It was a short catch that he just kind of took off and made a defender miss. But he definitely has that upside. Just put the ball in his hands. He can make guys miss. He can take it to the house. So I think, especially if Snead is out, with how much Lamar Jackson has kind of looked to Snead this year. Now Marquise Brown is going to be that number one guy, kind of undoubtedly, now that he's also missing Mark Andrews. So he's missing 2 out of the top 3 weapons for Lamar Jackson tonight, potentially. So really like Marquise Brown at 7,200. I like Cooper. I like Lamb. I like the pass catchers in this game. Now the Ravens, all three running backs are healthy, so who knows what they're gonna do. Harbaugh likes to mix things up in that running back room, in that running back committee, but Dobbins has been trending upwards. He got 15 touches before missing last week's game against the Titans. He got 15, then he had 5 before that, but they had 12, 15 in the 2 games before the Patriots game. So he's been the main guy. Ingram's touches have gone way down, and then they have Gus Edwards, who was pretty bad last week, but he's still there at 5,400. And a pretty Jordan Howard line, 9 carries, 10 yards, and a touchdown. They could use him in the goal line situation, which would not shock me, but it's going to be tough to recommend anybody besides Dobbins. But even then, I'm not super confident that he's going to get you 15 touches because they could easily split them between 3 guys, especially missing a week. But it's a good week for them to get some things going on the ground, or it could all just come from Lamar Jackson on the ground. So, a lot to think about, but Dobbins checks in at 86. Good price point. I definitely like Brown a little bit more at 72. And then below 6,000, you have Ingram and Edwards. Could take a shot on one of them and hope that one of them steals a touchdown or gets more carries. Or if Dobbins comes in and struggles, and go with the hot hand approach is what Harbaugh will probably do. So could look to one of them. Don't have confidence in either one though. And then Schultz has just been catching some short passes from Dalton. He's just been like a check down guy. He can get you a touchdown if they're in the near the inside the red zone. So he's going to be somebody that you should have some interest in at least. And then Gallup is a guy that I like a little bit more than Schultz just because he gives you a little bit more upside, I think. He has a better chance of breaking off a big play than Schultz does. The kickers, rather go with Zerline than Tucker, but I think I like the pass catchers a little bit more than going with the kicker tonight. And then below $3,000, there's not that much besides Pollard, who looks like he could take a touchdown away, or if Elliott fumbles again, he can definitely steal some snaps. Luke Wilson is going to be the main tight end, but just doesn't really interest me that much. Could get you a goal line touchdown, but he's not going to be, I don't think he'll be utilized heavily. One guy that I love tonight is Des Bryant at $1,000 flat. Last week against Pittsburgh, just a mess with the quarterback situation. When RG3 just couldn't throw the football against that defense. Now that he gets Lamar Jackson back, it's definitely an upgrade there. Facing his former team, he's going to have some revenge on his mind. He's the type of guy that when they're inside the 10, inside the 20, he's going to be on the field just because of his size, and he can catch a touchdown, especially without Andrews, who is a pretty big factor in the red zone, and without Boyle still, that was out for the year. Those were 2 guys that Lamar Jackson keyed in on in the red zone. Also, if he misses Willie Snead, that's just a third guy that would be out there in those red zone situations. I like Bryant to be out there in the field, and I think he could be a sneaky bet to maybe catch a touchdown pass tonight. So I like Bryant a ton. Then I like Duvernay, and then Boykin just hasn't been that guy anymore, just kind of losing snaps every single week. So definitely go with the other 2, especially Bryant for me. And that's it for me. You don't need to go super cheap. It's pretty easy to make a lineup that you feel good about with Lamar Jackson at captain, Andy Dalton, play Des Bryant at $1,000, play Marquis Brown at $7,200. You can even play Cooper, and then you can play Gallup. Do a nice balanced team. Get all the pass catchers that are going to have a chance to make a big play, except for CeeDee Lamb. But if you wanted to play Lamb, you can easily get to him over Cooper just with the savings. And then you can hopefully try to get up to Cooper. You're going to miss it by a bit, but the only thing you can probably do is play a different captain. You can put Dalton at captain, and then you can't get to Cooper. You can get to Dobbins if you like him tonight. At least you get Dalton paired with the guy in Lamb, and then you get a bit of an onslaught Raven stack that definitely could go off tonight. So for me, definitely going to be paying up that captain for Lamar Jackson or Dalton, one of the quarterbacks at captain. I think you can go pretty creative if you want to play a CeeDee Lamb at captain, just with the big play upside that he presents, and play Lamar Jackson. Still get Dalton in there. You definitely want to probably play Marquis Brown at his cheap price point at $7,200 with just all the injuries. Still like the price tag a lot of Des Bryant. And then you can play Amari Cooper, and you can pair Dalton with both of his top wide receivers and pair Lamar Jackson with his probably two top wide receivers tonight in Brown and Dez Bryant. Or if you're feeling Elliott, you can go to Elliott. But a lot to consider on the showdown. I kind of like where it's headed and where the kind of the builds that I'm getting. So for my core pieces tonight, I think you will definitely see me have a lot of interest in like Lamar Jackson, Dalton, Marquis Brown. I like a lot at 72. Like Dez Bryant, tough for me to get away from. And then like CeeDee Lamb. They like these five. I will definitely try to have in my lineup. Just because I like all their price tags. Have a ton of upside, especially Brown, and Lamb have a ton of upside in the receiving, and Dez Bryant at $1,000. Catches a touchdown, that's 6x right there, and then who knows however many yards he gets with that touchdown grab. But that's it for the DraftKings breakdown. I feel pretty good about where this showdown is headed, so hopefully it goes according to plan. Let's go over to Fanduel and look at how their pricing shakes out tonight. Alrighty, over on FanDuel, no surprise, Lamar Jackson is the most expensive guy on the slate. 16.5 on FanDuel. Always want to go with the guy that you're projected to score the most points at your captain spot because you're not paying extra. So definitely consider Lamar Jackson at captain, and then Dalton, and then one of the receivers, whether it be Cooper or Lamb or Marquise Brown. I think they all make for solid captain plays. I'm going to plug in Lamar Jackson just because I think he has the highest chance of being the highest scorer on the slate. Like Dalton, to get to him, it's going to be easy to on FanDuel at $14,000. And then we're left with still almost 10K left per position. So I love Brown at 10.5. You have a cheap price tag on Gallup, a cheap price tag on Schultz. Dez Bryant is only 7K if you're feeling him like kind of am tonight. You're left with 12,000 still, and then you can get up to like a Dobbins. And that's a really big onslaught stack for the Ravens, or you can get to CeeDee Lamb at 11.5 and feel pretty good about that. So quite a bit of guys you can kind of mix and match at some spots on FanDuel, but like I'm definitely gonna have Lamar Jackson. I know I'm gonna have probably Marquise Brown and Dalton, and then Dez Bryant. I think makes for a good value play. I'm not sure if he'll be super popular, but people might jump on the narrative, which I don't think is a terrible one. Facing the Cowboys' former team. And it's a spot where he's actually getting his quarterback back, and he only played with him one other time, and that was when the week prior, where he kind of got 5 targets, was at least involved in that offense, and I think he will again tonight with just all the injuries on that offense and all the guys that are out. So this is definitely an approach that you can use on FanDuel if you want to save some money, if you want to be a bit different, and even though I like Dez Bryant a lot, if you want to be different, you can get to like Gallup at 85, and then you can try to get to like you're gonna miss Lamb by a little bit. So $7,500. Could look at like Duvernay at 7K or Pollard at 75, but I feel really good about Dez Bryant, so I'm just gonna plug him in there tonight. Hopefully, I might even place a bet on him catching a touchdown pass tonight. But that's it for FanDuel. Like 3 core pieces are Lamar Jackson, Dalton, and Brown, I think. And you can kind of mix and match from there. But thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to hit the like button before you head out. And best of luck tonight.